Hey guys, uh, I'm on lunch break right now, so got some time to talk to you. It's Wednesday, so in the middle of the week, got 2 more days until the weekend, so that's good. But yeah, I'm just glad I can smile again, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes life just has you in a headlock and feels like it'll never let you go. And so now I'm I've come out the other side. I've I've been hoping and praying for a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think I found it. So, found it in Jesus. You couldn't tell. But, yeah. In case nobody's told you today, Jesus liebt dich. Jesus loves you. It's in German, so. I'm trying to learn. I'm pretty bad at it, but all that matters is that you just keep showing up. Is a lesson I've been trying to teach myself a lot since I've got to Germany and actually like been on my own as a man. Is telling myself like, hey, as long as you can show up for other people, show up for yourself, show up for other people, show up for God, like you'll be fulfilling your purpose. Because there's days where I don't want to. There's days I don't want to show up. And there's days where I just want to sit on this here couch and just scroll on my phone or whatever, or just do something unproductive. But then I have to tell myself, I get a text, I'm like, hey. They're like, hey, can you drive me to the shop? Hey, can you drive me to the store? I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to right now. I'm so tired. But no, man, it's all about showing up. And even when people hurt you, man, you still gotta show up for them. I got people at my work that aren't the biggest fans of me, but I still show up for them because that's what soldiers do. That's what wearing this uniform means. It means showing up for other people. So I'm just glad I get to do that. And it's hard a lot of days when you show up and it feels like nobody appreciates you, but then sometimes I'll get a, hey, thanks, man. I'll get a, you're a blessing. Or I'll get a, so there's one sergeant at my job who always says, y'all don't deserve Patel. And that always brightens my day whenever he says that, because a lot of days I struggle to believe that I even deserve anything good. So I get so caught up in if I'm worthy enough, but the cross, this thing right here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that thing right there. Jesus already showed me how much I'm worth by paying it for me. So I can't pay for these sins alone. I've done too much stuff. I have done too much to be right in the eyes of God. If it were judging off of my works alone, you think driving people to the shop at or volunteering every once in a while or abstaining from certain sinful activities would get me into heaven? That's not nearly enough to pay for what I've done. So I sure am glad Jesus came for me, for someone like me, because I'm so broken and messed up on the inside. But I've had to realize very quickly as of late that it's Jesus that makes me whole. I've always known that in my head, but it wasn't until, like I'd say this week, that I really knew that in my heart. Like some things, like especially when they try to teach me some things at work off of a packet, and I'm like, man, I can't learn this off of a packet. I have to go do it so I can actually learn it. That's how I feel about this right now. God knows me greater than any other person can. Even more than my dad. If there's anybody else that knew me as a person, that's a human, it'd be my dad. But even then, God knows me so much to where he's like, you know what? I know he knows in his brain that I make him whole, but I need to make sure he knows, like he really knows in his heart and his soul. So I'm going to do certain things. I'm going to orchestrate different things so that he can understand, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why it hurts sometimes. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck. But it's just like in army training, or even if you do any sort of physical training, like it hurts while you're doing it, but after time, like you'll see progress. You'll see that you're climbing up the ladder. You'll see that you're like accomplishing things that you couldn't accomplish before, or get over hurdles that you couldn't jump over before. And so that right there is exactly why I go through trials, because trials are what make us stronger. That's why God puts us through them. You know, I was calling my dad. I was like, man, why does this have to happen to me? Like, why do these things have to happen to me, man? Like, I'm always so faithful to God. But then he told me, he was like, you're asking why it would happen to you. You need to start asking why not you. Why not you? See, God saw all these problems, saw all these struggles, and he was like, I'm going to give it to Alok. I'm going to give it to Patel. Because I know he can take it. I know that with his heart and the way that he thinks and the way that he bounces back from failure and struggle and from defeat and all those things, I know that he can take it. Because I'm not saying that I'm any better. I'm just saying that God saw me and said, I know he can go through these things, so I'm going to put him through these things. This is the same thing. I read one of my favorite books in the Bible is the book of Job, where God and Satan are looking at Job, this faithful servant of God who has everything. He's got the wife, the kids, the crib, everything. And Satan's like, I bet I can get him to curse your name. I bet I can get him to renounce you altogether. And God's like, hey, you know what? Here, I'm willing to bet on this. The only thing is you can't touch him. You can't physically hurt him. And so the devil's like, all right, fine. And so they strip everything away from him. They give, like, if anybody had a reason to crash out in the Bible, I think it'd be Job. Because he had everything taken from him. And yet he still was strong in God. He didn't curse him one time. And so I think there's many lessons that I can learn from him. And I think whoever's watching this video right now, I don't know how many views this is going to get. I honestly don't care either. I just felt called to video this. So whoever needs to hear this, man, like, you're going to go through some stuff. It's going to suck. You're going to want to cry your eyes out. You're going to want to, like, punch your wall. I don't know. Do whatever you do to deal with your anger. But God is going to. He's going to pull you through, but he's putting you through this to test the genuineness of your faith. He's trying to put you through this so that he can see, all right, let's see what he does when I take this from him. Let's see how strong his faith is when I take this from him. And I'm like, it's hard, man. Like, as humans, we're like, man, why? Like, why are you doing this? There is no reason for you to do this. But there is. Because think about it. If I hadn't gone through half the stuff I've gone through right now, my faith would not be as strong as it is. There was one time I fought in the Dallas Golden Globes, and I lost. And I thought I should have won. I was like, man, why didn't I win? And I was asking God. I was like, man, I was so angry. I was like, God, I gave everything. I gave all my time after school to train. I cut weight for this. I did some other stuff, like prepared. I did all this stuff, man. I'm like, God, why did you let me lose? But he lets me see failure so that the next time I got in the ring, I would fight. And guess what happened next time I got in the ring? I lost again. That was the worst loss. The one after Golden Gloves was my worst loss in front of my dad. It's the first fight my dad watched, and I lost so bad. But then what happened after that fight? I got back in the gym. I kept training, and a few months later, I fought at a tournament, won 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. So I made up for those 2 losses that I had before, and now I've been made right in victory. Like, this is why God has us go through these trials, because me losing just made me want to win more. Me losing wanted me to get better. And so I feel like sometimes when we get so comfortable with winning, we're like, man, oh yeah, everything's good, I'm winning, man. There ain't no reason for me to get better. But then God hits you with an L, man. He hits you with a defeat. And then you're like, oh shoot, I gotta lock in, bro. I gotta lock in. And so I feel like that's where I am right now. So Sorry for the rant, but that's just, I just feel so much clarity right now because these last few days have been pretty hard. But I'm doing good, guys. Like, I know I don't really talk to a lot of y'all because I'm away and I'm like 7 hours ahead of the rest of y'all, but I'm doing good. Thanks for listening. God bless.